My chosen film was Lean on Me. It has Morgan Freeman in it. I really love this movie because, for me, it talks about like restoration and also perseverance. For instance, uh, Morgan Freeman, he plays this. I think it's Morgan Freeman, but he plays this principal at a school that was run down in the ghetto. It had gangsters in it. It had like drugs everywhere, and he vowed to like clean it up, and he vowed to help the students like get a better education by teaching them and by understanding their struggles and stuff like that. Um, so that's what I loved about the movie is that uh, he like showed these students what it was like to persevere after having a horrible situation, after having gangs in their school and all that. He also encouraged a few Latina students to become like mechanics, saying that they would earn more money and stuff like that. um, there is a moment in the film that kind of annoys me is where the main like character, the main protagonist, Morgan Freeman, um, he basically tries all these different things, these different approaches. So first of all, he puts padlocks onto the doors of the school to keep the gangsters out. Um, but when he does that, there's a woman that she's like an all-time Karen, like basically like just hating on him, um, just like not understanding what he's trying to do, what he's trying to achieve, not appreciating all of the stuff that he's trying to do. So because of that, she goes to the mayor, and then the mayor, who is a white man, is racist, and so he starts becoming like um, just very, very hypocritical. Not hypocritical per se, but more like racist, and he starts, like making the principal look like he's a horrible person. Um, that's like one of the biggest. I think Lean on Me is like an amazing film, and it was like one of the biggest films that I watched that kind of inspired me to kind of continue on with education, want to be a teacher and all that stuff. Um, but there is a specific part that I really do enjoy, and it's a musical number. It's the song "Lean on Me," and there's a principal, or she's no, not a principal, but she's the music director. She goes and sings the song at a school assembly. Also, another aspect that I wanted to mention about the film, uh, it's all about education. Like the film is like it's phenomenal. However, there is another part where he becomes like a hard ass, like just extremely like unreasonable. Sometimes he'll like he'll have these like unrealistic demands of the teachers, and so he fires the music teacher because they didn't she didn't teach the students the school song. Also, he fires another teacher because he felt like she was inadequate. He also fired another teacher because during an assembly, he had told everyone not to move and to stay quiet, and a teacher picked up a piece of trash. And so, throughout the film, it's all about, for me, like race, relations, and relations with society and things that people deal with as far as education, the inadequacy, the failed tests, the the environment of the school. How also because I feel like with education, the environment of your school is extremely important. So that's why, for me, I feel like this film touched on a lot of those important aspects. It touched on the scholastic. It touched on the environment, and making sure that your environment around you was proper, was clean, had no, you know, gang affiliation, no taggings. um, it also touched on race relations, especially when it came to the educational system. um, Towards the end of the film, which was pretty sad, they ended up arresting the principal because they thought he was horrible. They thought that he was just such a horrible guy, that, you know, he was abusing the students and stuff like that. So after they arrested him, all of the students came and started a strike, and demanded for him to get released. After they got released, they read out the test scores from all the students, because the students literally for like 10 years had horrible test scores. And so after they read the test scores, they saw that the students all passed. And so it was kind of like a really amazing film of like understanding like struggle, and also understanding that just because, you know, you try these evasive maneuvers, or these evasive um, uh, kind of new, like these new like moves, or these new things to get your school up and running, or to get your students to understand, it's not always a bad thing, no matter how like bad people make it. So yeah, I feel like the film Lean on Me was incredibly well written. The actors were great, and you know, it touched a lot about education and the educational system. And it touched a lot about like the struggles of education, and also like how students try to get through. So yeah, I really enjoyed that film.